Today was an absolutely wild day, and why I am live right now for your watch list is not because I love you and I appreciate all of you who've been locked in and all the new members. It's not that. It's because everybody was so chill, even though today was crazy. And the last time we saw what happened today, I tracked it back, man. I was saying it all day. I'm like, I swear this was on a watch list. I swear the last time I saw this, it was a big day, and it was. And we're going to go over that. We have to talk about the dollar because that relates to what I told you not too long ago. And now I have a theory for you. I'm going to share a theory. You haven't heard it. Bloomberg hasn't said it yet. They will very soon after this video. But, I got a good one for you, man. I got a good one, and we got to talk about it, man, for real. This is crazy because where we ended today, the reaction, how it all played out, bro, you are back to the panic zone. So you may not feel it. You may feel it, but we got to really talk about it. And leading into earnings and 25% of the S&P reporting, it is about to be a big one, my friends. So we have a lot. I have pretty pictures, and I won't tease you too much. I'm just going to start with one, and then I'm going to work the rest of them in naturally, okay? But here's the dollar chart, bro. The last time that the dollar had a 1 month this bad, I think it's down 8% from the beginning of the month. It was literally like 2008, 2009, then 2010, and 2011. So we're going to talk about all of that, but yeah, you add it up, it was just added to the pressure. So the markets didn't hit a new low, but pretty much the dollar did. And now there's a couple of things we got to talk about. So I have that for you. I have crazy keys. I have a couple plays too, and some theories and all of that. But Chatadonia, before any of it, good evening. How you feeling? What up, baby? What's going on? Are you ready? Are you ready or what? What up, Manchu? What up, Kurt? What up, Sasquatch Brown? El Chapato, Mayhem, Dirty Bird, Starflame, PSA. What's going on, baby? What up, Skittle? What up, Star? How you doing, Keith? They're all has. Who's that driving? Patrick Swayze. What's up, baby? When you get a long term, and you say 10%, okay. What you gonna do? Long term, no? I don't. You have to be very Bay Area to get to even smile at that. I feel like I don't even know. What up, Holy Trinity? What up? And listen, if your name is Holy Trinity, your third message in the chat better not be the Lord told me the stock market's crashing, or I'm gonna slap you back to wherever you came from, Pharisee. Okay? I ain't dealing with that. Rebuke it. I'm just saying though, you know, because that's we've been dealing with too much of that volatility. So I hope you guys are ready, man. I feel like we could throw in a couple of good jokes because at the end of the day, it's a big video. It's a big one today, guys. It's a big one. That's what I'm saying. It's so weird. We got good puts too, but like dude, it felt just so random how today all played out. So let's get right into it. And I'm going to tell you, today was a big signal. The signal that you had sent today was the rush to safe havens. Do you guys remember the last time I said this? Now, I'm going to show you a couple of charts that are going to bring this all together, but literally what happened, the dollar dropped, the Swiss franc ran, the Japanese yen ran, of course, our bond market, the long end was broken, and Bitcoin actually held up. So while the dollar was selling off, all the safe havens ran, even the ones, and then gold rocketed. How can I forget? Of course. There you go. I said, thank you, Einstein. That was the cherry on top, of course. So throw all of this in. The last time we saw this, I told you, I was like, this is a big signal. I'm going to show you another chart, or let me see before I give you the pop quiz, because this is what it relates to. The last time this happened, I showed you this chart. Are you ready for it? Here it is. Let's see if this refreshes your memory. Do you remember this chart? 30-year versus the dollar. And again, 2 weeks ago, the dollar was not this low. Do you remember this? Yeah. That's why I'm tripping out. Because I told you even on that video, I said, well, this might be the next thing we got to watch for, even though things kind of felt a little better. Why would they feel a little better? Because the last time this happened, and when I showed you this chart, it was literally the day after the biggest day in history, a.k.a. Trump's 90-day pause. Literally the day after. That is when we saw what we saw today. That's why I was like, it felt recent, and it wasn't too long ago, but with everything going on, that feels like forever ago. But it was about 11 days ago. So, again, you're at the 21st or 10 days ago. So you're right there, but this is a very, very big signal. And what caused it today, I do think it is part of a tantrum. Why do I say that? Here is the other chart. I guess I could fill it in with two, because we called this on Thursday. And what I mean by that is that here, I'll give you the stream alert, or even a little bit of plays from today. But on Friday, the last stream alert was the Wall Street Journal rumor. And again, if you were there on stream, you could have saw this live too. It wasn't even members only. But Trump firing Powell, and it was a little bit more escalatory. And we were saying, watch if the market takes it seriously. And then Friday, markets were closed. Over the weekend, nothing crazy happened. I'm telling you, there wasn't anything mind-blowing over the weekend. Futures open up, and then all of a sudden, during the China session, you just start dumping. And then Europe is closed because of Easter. But then everybody started dumping, and you were reacting to this whole logic once again of, wait, is Donald Trump going to fire Powell? So this is why I'm calling it a tantrum, because this was from Thursday. But people reacted in big fashion, bring you back down to this tantrum level, and then you get this weird safe haven dump while everything else goes crazy. And well, that's the old chart. But the last time we had this was, again, after that one event. Let me see, where's the other one? It was after the big trade day. So I think here it is now. Here is your updated chart as of recently. But here's the bonds. They came a little bit lower, but yields are still high. And when I showed you that chart, the dollar was here. So let's go back to the other one. I think I still have it up. The dollar did not go below 2024. So now we are below every level of 2024. Do you see how rapid the dollar decline has gotten? So even though the bond yields aren't higher, the dollar got a lot worse. And like I'm telling you, the 1 month gain, even today, a lot of the metrics, I mean, the last time, I believe here's the other chart, last time you saw the dollar take a huge drop down, I mean, literally 2017 leading into 2018, again, that was another wicked moment, and then literally 2011 and then 2010. So remember this, because this is going to lead into our other theory, but this is what I'm saying today, that when it's all said and done, I mean, yeah, you had people reacting to this Powell idea, but you have to really realize now we're kind of back to this level, and then we're doing what we did after a very big day, and this isn't normal. Like, this type of movement, when you watch gold rocket now, safe havens go up, and then everything kind of get uncertain, this isn't good. I don't know where it's going to lead. I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know when things will change, but once again, you should be on watch, because we are back to that zone. So that's your next key now, and we're going to talk about this here because this week is going to be all about earnings. Like we said, 25% of the S&P is reporting. You'll hear from Boeing, Intel, IBM, Tesla. You already heard from Netflix, and that was good. And then even after that, we're going to get into a lot more of the earnings. But like I'm saying, market-wise, you are in the panic zone. And what I'm talking about is right here. So like I'm telling you, last time you had a day like today where the safe havens move like that, dollar panicked, and then the yield still remained up, you were doing April 10th, and then this was just in the middle of the first couple of days after absolutely cratering. So this was not a moment where people felt good. Do you guys understand? The price action around this level and giving up, maybe like half, a little bit more than half of the gains, this price landing I'm reading your comment, this price signal and price action does not say, yeah, everybody was loving this area. This is not a good zone to be at. And even worse, this is what we've been talking about here. You got to really think about it. If we go any lower now and you're already back to this low we were just at, that means you did not go through peak panic. So that means 2 weeks ago, wow, everybody was plummeting before Donald Trump pivoted, any of that stuff, right? That was not the peak panic. How do you know? Because you're about to go lower. If you go lower. That's kind of now what analysts are talking about. This was even over the weekend. They're pretty much saying if we break a new low, that's impossible, then that was peak panic because everyone's going to keep freaking out. But if we are going to hold up, if trade policy is going to wind down, if they really calm things down or no negative developments or earnings or buyback saves it, then yeah, if we don't hit a new low, 2 weeks ago was peak panic. Are you guys following? We're still trying to work through this day by day, but that's kind of how it's looking. And if now we're back at this zone, if we go lower, that means you did not see peak panic. However, if it still holds up, 2 weeks ago was probably, that could be your short-term bottom. But now after today, people are a little worried. So the problem now with all of this, I really think it's going to be the speed because now, even though you came back after a couple of days, remember last time it was quick, but make no mistake, we are on the analogy of 2022. And you guys remember, I showed you this chart as well. Here's an updated one. So 2022 versus where we are at now. Like I said, 2018 was a good model, but now you're kind of even playing out how 2022 did. And even then, April, you hit a low, bounced up, hit the low again, and then bounced up beginning of May, and then 2 weeks into May, you were bottoming out, danced around for another week or two. End of the month, you're back where you started. 2 weeks in, you're jumping, and then a month later, everybody is pissed off at the rally. So again, why I'm saying that, because timing. Even though peak panic in understanding this would clear your mind and you'll understand, that'd be nice to know. The only way you're going to mess up is if you try to rush this. Are you understanding? So when it's all said and done, we need to find out now whether or not we are hitting peak panic, but do not expect this to happen in a day. So just because the speed has been quick, don't forget, we've been playing a lot of stop and go. I don't know the timeline. I would not want to fall victim to a timeline. The point is, you should be on watch anytime we're at this zone. Again, starting a week and a half ago, you didn't have to really worry about this as much as we were still holding up some of that pivot. Things were a little better. The bonds came off, but now things are getting a lot worse again. Or you're having a new developments, gold new high, dollar new low. Bonds haven't hit a new high, but if they do, that will be at the danger zone. So like I'm saying here, we got to pay attention, but I wish I could give you a better timeline, but you're just back to the danger zone. The lights are flashing. And now we'll see, but if it was to play like 2022, this might be stop and go every other week. So just keep that in mind. And then again, earnings will be a big driver. But now, are you ready? Are you ready? Because all of this, I kind of can recall this, to be honest with you. Some stuff I haven't seen. Other stuff, I was very new and young. But I have something. As I'm like, man, the dollar, again, the dollar hasn't dropped like this since 2008 or 2010, 2011. So, I have a theory for you. It's not widely talked about, but you might start to hear this. Because this might be, I want to say somebody asked this at one of the Fed meetings, but it came back to me because I'm looking at charts and I'm like, the last time the dollar did this, there was either QE or other major stuff going on. So, what it is, Operation Twist. Does that ring a bell for anybody? If you do, you're old, and that's okay. I don't have a hairline either. Operation Twist. Some of you will have no idea. You're children, probably. I was a child to a degree. Has nothing to do with Bop It. But now that you say that.
Solo. High score 100.
Yeah, it's on deck.
Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it.
Yeah.
Pull it.
There you go. Yeah, but anyways. No, yeah. It's on deck, dog. Always. I keep it on. I have Bop It in a gun. So I wish I could make this up. But other than that, Operation Twist. He's going to bed. It's not Bop It. Does that sound familiar to anybody? Anybody? No? This is very important. As funny as what I just said, I'm going to teach you something. Because this was right after '08 in like 2010 and 20. Again, one of the like 4 other times the dollar has had a moment like this. The Fed and central banks, they came up with an idea. It's like reverse yield curve control. And here's the great, here, are you ready for this? Here's the best part. Your boy Scott Bessent, he might be able to pull this off. He would be the guy. And everybody keeps talking about Scott Bessent, and then they're talking about him putting the guardrails and all this drama with Powell and Trump. But long story short, dude, like what happens? Like think about it. What do you mean? Dollar's gonna drop, the dollar gets clapped, inflation goes up. What happens if this hits Main Street? What happens if the job numbers actually skyrocket and the economy slows down and you actually get a hard landing? What the hell is the Fed going to do? You don't, especially if Powell and Trump are beefing. And here, my friend, comes your answer. Because there was a similar moment. Again, nothing new under the sun. This isn't, again, it was like 2010, 2011, there was still like post-crisis. They were getting everything going, right? The central banks came up with this idea, and they were like, why don't we do this? Why don't we sell short-term treasuries and then buy the long-term bonds? So let's sell more short-term debt and then take that money and then go buy the long end of the curve. Because guess what? If the bond market doesn't believe you, the dollar doesn't believe you, and you need to kind of show support, and you have certain things in place that should help it, you sell treasuries. I don't know if this is a good idea. Again, the short-term rate is really high, and your boy refuses to cut rates. And they did this. I'm not making this up. This already happened back in the day. That's why I'm saying I want to say Powell was asked about this recently. This isn't out of left field, but I don't know. This would kind of be an extreme scenario. Point is, last time I saw the dollar move like this was happening, or this was actually one of the responses that followed. They started selling the short end of the curve because what does that do? That raises the short-term rates to slow things down, but then they buy to ease things up in the long end, real estate, and then everything else. So imagine what I've been telling you guys. What has been the problem? You cut before the election, you have all of this stuff and blame Donald Trump. Do you guys realize this only helped out, like at one point it only helped out rich people, now it hurts people with assets. Remember, when they cut rates and the long end went up, all that happened was that leveraging got cheap for hedge funds and mortgage rates went up. That was not what was supposed to happen. It never happened before in history. So this would kind of be the reversal of that. This is to prevent that. They're saying let the long end go, let the short end go up. We short it. We sell a bunch of short end currencies, so we raise money and sell it, and then we buy the long end of the curve. Because again, the yields are kind of the same. It's not like it's too bad of an idea right now. In the sense, like I said, I don't know. There's good and bad about it. But right now, I mean, your long end is, it's less than 1% away from the short end on a 30-year duration. So you could literally double, triple the amount of short-term debt you sell, and then you buy. It's literally yield curve control, but reversed. Well, it's a fantastic theory. It's been done before. I don't know if they'll do it again, but like I'm telling you, just from my experience and knowledge of like history, the last time this happened, this is what occurred. And again, if you don't want Powell, long story short, this is how Powell could not touch the rates and you could still kind of save the bond market. That's what they did again in 2010, 2011. So look it up. All I'm saying is the more today plays out like it does, I wouldn't be surprised if you heard about this more and more. Operation Twist. If it stops today, maybe I'm the only person talking about it, but if yields go higher, the dollar keeps dumping, people don't feel good, sentiment gets destroyed, and certain things aren't working, and then unemployment goes up, and then real GDP actually collapses, you're going to start hearing this one more. So, yeah. Ta-da! And there is that. So, that's what I wanted to share with you, and that's why I thought add that to today. The signal that you saw, the fact that we are still kind of figuring out whether or not peak panic. I mean, happy Monday. It felt kind of chill, but not really, bro. Today was a massive day. So get ready for more, baby, but you're already locked in, and now today should help you. So that being said, let us get into the play. So right off the bat, play number 1, Boeing. So here's the deal. I had this written down before I started the video, and I saw it. I read it as I was talking to you guys. I think somebody's buying a unit from Boeing, so that could help them out. But otherwise, they have earnings. They're still one of the main trade targets. There was news today about India, and India kind of picking up the China slack, and I think that could be pretty big. So I think after we get over earnings, people will start to get a little bit more excited about that. And breaking news, the chat is a bunch of crackheads. So in the midst of a bunch of crackheads, Bitcoin is going up. So yeah, Bitcoin is at 89,000 and futures too. If you guys didn't know, futures are up 0.5% right now. They're literally back to where you opened up on the gap down. And then who was the other one? I think NASDAQ was like 1% or near it. Yeah, oh no, 0.5%. Yeah, they both are. Ta-da. But yeah, Bitcoin, I don't know what it is. But Boeing, watch out for that. I did make a play on it today. They went up. I think you could have made them free. I had another one that I made free earlier, but I do think after earnings, this thing might respond a little bit more to some of the global news. But either way, they reacted a decent amount today, so watch out for that. That is play number 1. And play number 2, SQQQ and UVXY. So here's the deal. This is the one I played today. I grabbed these in the morning. It was a trip. I don't know when I bought these, to be honest. I bought them very early, within the first 10 minutes of the day or something. Or was it? Oh, I don't have the time on the stream alert picture. I have to go look. But this one, man, they were really cheap. And that's what I was saying. I was like, damn, we're kind of back down to that freak out level. And I noticed the weekly out of the money volatility plays, they were dirt cheap again. So I said, I'm going to grab them. And I grabbed them. We drop another 1%. They go up 30%. Then we drop another 2%. And then they don't do anything. It was actually wicked. Then at one of the lows, straight up, I think it was right here. This is 4 or 5 hours in the day. I was stuck at 80% on one of them. The out of the monies went 30%. And then, oh no, because I had near the money ones, but they were still cut and they went up. But all of them, the best option only went up 120. And then all of a sudden, it was right at the 5100 zone. They all just went 200, 300% for 20 minutes and then came down. And then that was it. And then they came back to the 30, 80%. So I sold one of them at 50. I held another, but point is, we're at the freak out level. If we start going lower and it really does start to plummet, I think out of the money short-term VIX is going to lag just because of all of the volatility that we've had. So they've been good, but I think it will be hit or miss. I'd make them free. Be quick with it. Got one set. I have to make the other ones free tomorrow, but the one I sold out for 50% pretty much paid for the other one. I only have SQQ, no UVXY, but I'd keep an eye out for that. And like I'm saying here, if we keep playing this, you break the lows, just watch for it to keep lagging. So that is play number 2. And then finally, play number 3, Home Depot. I made a play on this one. They went up. They dropped for a little bit and then just rocketed up 50, 100% at the bell. Even on the bid, they went up, but this was slipped in with the news of Walmart and Target. So there's a headline today that the CEOs of Walmart and Target were meeting with Trump. I don't know if that's a good thing anymore, because someone brought it up in the chat earlier. They're like, last time Trump met with NVIDIA, they got clapped. So I don't know if you could take that as a good thing. But other than that, HD, I was like, you know what? They've kind of been pinned. And I grabbed Pepsi today for value. But if you notice today, 90% of the market was red. But there was like 10% of names that were holding up. And there was a couple of staples and certain consumer stocks that were pretty good. So consumer discretionaries were bad, but staples and other cyclicals did pretty well. So I made some plays on there. I like them, but watch Home Depot. I think if it's tied into the news, that'll be good. Otherwise, just be on the lookout for this one in earnings. But other than that, we didn't really make too many plays. I think I told you guys most of what I did. Oh, I did Dollar Tree. That was the other value. Pepsi, SQ, and Boeing. Yeah, wasn't really much. Kind of avoided the SPY today, but I did play the Qs, so I don't know how that was. I did grab a call after we pretty much hit one of the lows and I was up 50%. I grabbed one of the calls that would have was a fraction of what we had on the downside after taking some profits. So thought that was a good idea. Jack went up. Yeah, a couple of names. I mean, NVO, they're just dead. Some names that were already just guttered, they were able to hold up today. But end of the day, you bounced up. I mean, even then, the futures are doing good. But at one point, it was like 490 names on the SPY were literally red. And then by close, I mean, this was a big move. That's why I'm saying, like, you had some big moves, but it was the near the monies that really got the move despite it kind of being dramatic. But now that I'm saying, you know, you're at the danger zone, starts to get crazy, I think those VIXs will pick up quick. So we'll see. Other than that, I had an idea with gold miners because gold was so crazy. I'm not the biggest fan of gold miners, but if it really keeps going nuts, the dollar, there may be some late stage pop off plays. But I looked, I did not like any of them at all. So yeah, other than that, we'll see where tomorrow leads us. And now, do you have any questions, Chattadonia? This is your moment. This is your moment. I am done. That's all I have for you. The rest is up to you. Irie, let's see where we're at. I know Bitcoin. I was grinding. I'm good, man. I went to the gym. I got a good meal in already. When the next bicep picks, I don't know. We'll see. You know, someone tried to get me to commit to what they said. I need your verbal commitment of a vlog once a week. I'm like, dude, bro, what the fuck, dude? My girlfriend doesn't even make me verbally commit to marrying her, and y'all tripping on, you know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? So I said I'll try. I'm gonna try. I'll definitely do another vlog one day. But yeah, man, chilling. That's all I was like, oh, maybe I'll vlog to go to the. I was like, man, I'm just doing too much, man. I gotta get in and out, man. Gotta get in and out. But we'll see. I'll definitely get another good one on the weekend one day. But till then, grind mode, baby. Grind mode. Lock in. Lock in, baby. You make solid trades. You sell early. I do that too, man. I held a lot longer today and that helped, but I just changed. Listen, man. I'm a delusional person, okay? I should probably preface it with that. You know, a lot of things. And I think you should be delusional too, to a certain degree. And what I mean by that is I changed the mindset. And like, why should I be ashamed of selling too early? What do you mean too early? I think I take pride in it now. It's a source of pride. You know why? Because the one moment you don't fucking sell early, you're going to lose everything and be like, man, I should have sold early. So, you know, we got to take pride in it. Yeah, profit is profit. I mean, that's such a cliche on trading Wall Street. But at the end of the day, I do, it's not too bad of a move. You will learn to optimize and get better, but you have to do so in the scope of not giving up too much. And I wouldn't get too bothered by perfection if a lot of adequate is adding up. And that's kind of how I had to start looking at it. Those 1,000%ers last week screwed you up. That's why I told you guys, you got to hit that Men in Black, stare into the pen, and just forget about it, homie. That's what I did. You know what I did? I took my girlfriend to fucking Malibu, and I ate a lobster roll. You think I gave a fuck about anything that I missed? Did you not? You want to see the video, bro? I'm taking that fucking lemon. And I'm like, nom, nom, nom. Fucking it's so good. Oh, Josh, like food. Josh eat box, good food outside. I'm going up an escalator singing to myself. So just forget about it, bro. Just forget about it. That's all you got to do. And what I mean is like, that's not like, if you miss the play, if you didn't, again, I think I had a play. I had 2 back-to-back plays, all in the scope of like 1 fucking hour. I hit them for 100%, and they all proceed to go up 500 to 5,000% in the next 1 hour to 1 day. I don't care. You know why? Because we made 100%. You do, bro. Who in their right mind would be mad about that? Especially if we got the other ones too. So, like I'm saying, we just got to be okay with it, because eventually you're going to get one. You're going to get the one that you hold. You're going to feel more comfortable with it, but I would rather get in the habit of taking money than chasing money, if that makes any sense. And what you're telling me is that you don't feel good about doing the right thing. You know that? And that sounds a lot like life. I hate to make this philo, but it is members only. But that really is life. And that's why if you want to do the right thing, you got to really want to do it. Because when you do the right thing, it's not going to feel good. I promise you. Yeah, I'm telling you, the last time I did right things, people robbed me. For real. And then another time, I swear I did a good thing and someone tried to kill me. So, point is, it doesn't matter. That's how life is going to work. And I really think, even with trading, bro, is that it's not going to feel good. But if like legitimately, like what we did, I'm speaking off of, if you have a similar experience to what we just did here in the Chad, dude, we hit plays and we made money. Our problem is they didn't make as much money as they could have. And that is, I see the opportunity. But I'm not going to get mad about doing that. If you miss the play, you need to be asking yourself how you could do better, how you could position yourself, or if it would even work with your strategy or not. But other than that, if it was the right move, get used to it. And like I'm saying, leave yourself room for the big hitter. It'll come. But, if you're constantly stressing, changing up your game, and trying to accomplish this weird, obscure goal of holding the right one, you might miss everything that got you into those original plays too. But yeah, let's go, baby. I feel you. But that Men in Black shit, bro, maybe I might vlog for y'all, because I think y'all really need to get the whole, like, I love the weekend, not because it's like a day off, but like legitimately you could just refresh, dude, and not look at like anything. Believe me, I love info. And over the weekend, I got a leak. You know that? I got info. I got a Hollywood entertainment news. I was just talking to people in LA and somebody totally leaked me shit they shouldn't have. And I was like, and I don't think they knew I was a stock YouTuber guy who talks about shit. Oh, they have no idea, actually. They would have never known. But other than that, maybe I'll tell you guys one day. But the whole point is just take in info but like refresh though. And like I'm saying, the whole like short-term memory, you're going to need it. Like for real, especially in this chop market, and then low liquidity causes crazy runners sometimes. You're going to need, I forgot about the Twitch, dude. Oh, shit. I genuinely forgot. That's their fault. They asked me so many times today, but I genuinely just forgot. My bad, guys. So, yeah, Brian, you could let them know somehow. I don't know how. But, yeah, we're at the Q&A segment now. So, I did say it is on youtube.com is the members only for now. But maybe tomorrow I'll get y'all. See, maybe they could chill out for a little bit. Maybe they needed it. But either way, point is, calm down. Relax on the weekend, and you'll be good, man. Every day, too. And even that's the hard part, intraday. Wake up, though. Wake up, get into it, be excited. But I would not really hold yourself to a crazy, like, don't be like, is this inappropriate to say? Don't be like body dysmorphia stock market edition. I was going to call you bulimic, but I didn't think that was appropriate. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have to, like, for real, you can't have like this. You have a very unreal expectation. A lot of traders sometimes When they're like, what are you really expecting to happen? You really think you're going to be perfect? You think you're going to have that Nancy Pelosi execution? You're not Kim Pelosi. Okay, you're not. It's okay. It's a filter, bro. It's a filter. Just adequate and is fine. You'd be surprised. You're new to trading and you can't stop thinking about it. Well, if I could direct you to some good old-fashioned ADD and direct your attention to somewhere else, that could help. That's what I do. Because I don't forget anything. I have a really good memory. I just forget it by being distracted with something else. So just preoccupy yourself with something more productive. Ta-da. More like that. It's up 10% in April. Yeah, I feel like the last 2 years of gold, 3 years have just been wicked. Gold doesn't move like this, bro. Dude, I remember buying gold, and I remember 1,500 to like 2,000 was like, took forever. And then that was like, fuck yeah, 30% on gold, dude. So all I know is like, and that's the funny part, bro. Like I told you, man, conservative churches all around the nation are rejoicing in Peter Schiff. You know that? It's crazy. It's actually, I'm telling you, gold does not move like this. It's ridiculous. No, bro, it's actually not a normal. That's why, bro, you mean to tell me these little ass gold, dude, I have racks now. You know that? Bro, these were supposed to be paperweights. Gold doesn't do that. So, but you are living through a wild moment. Would you dare short gold? No. I gave up on gold, and I'm glad I did. I just wish I held it from the moment I knew everything about gold that we already knew. That's it. I made a lot of money on gold. I think we walked away through gold futures. I walked away with like 40 or 50 racks, I think, minimum. We did very good on those. But it wasn't like, I just wish I held it, dude. If I went big and held it, that would have been amazing. But other than that, I'm done. I'm glad I stopped because I would have shorted it and I would have fucking got wrecked. So I'm glad I stayed away, bro. That's it. I stayed away and I'm so happy. Dude, do you know how good it feels? Do you know how good, like, you know what I'm saying, bro? All y'all trying to fucking fly a Red Bull plane through a fucking needle. You know, fucking, that's word to camel through the eye of a needle, bro. Meanwhile, I'm just like, I feel like sometimes I'm the dude on Final Destination who didn't get on the plane. And I rejoice, dog. I do not have survivor's guilt. Amen, Lord. Amen. You know what I'm saying? I don't even feel bad, bro. Fuck that. You know that? They always be like, oh, you gonna praise God? Yeah. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna feel. Are you kidding? You not see that? I should have died. I would have died. So yeah, nah, fuck that. So amen. I'm glad I didn't touch it. I'm glad I did not board that plane, bro. You have no idea, bro. You know how many times I saw gold short, boarding at 2,000, all aboard. Gold short, boarding at 2,500, all aboard. 2,500, all-time highs, 3,000, all aboard. Final departure. Dude, and I be sitting there, bro. I be like, I got a layover. I got time. Oh, real quick. Oh, dog, I'm so happy I didn't get on that. Everyone crashed. This is like a fucked up episode of Final Destination because every plane would just take off and then crash. And then it would take off the same destination. The same plane would take off and then crash. And then it would take off and then crash. And then I'm like, and you guys are like, yo, Josh, are you going to get on that plane? You fucking, where's my car, bro? Fucking, why am I still at this airport? We got to go, bro. So yeah, no for me. I'm glad I stopped when I stopped. And I'm so happy. And that's a lesson. For real, man. I'm being dead serious, bro. That's why, like, in a market like this, your mindset dude, you might look back and be happy about the trades you didn't make rather than the trades you made. And that's why I'm saying, like, you got to really be, there's some things where it's just like, dude, that's it. I stopped because it was getting too crazy. Once it's, because again, I had a gold long at the beginning of the year and I got shooken out and then it fucking ripped $200. I'm like, fuck that. And I was long. My last play was long, believe it or not. But it just kept getting too confusing. Again, when I figured it out, I got confident. It was right after the Cybertruck. I swear it was a live watch list, and I was like, dude, I figured it out. It was the central banks. We had all those charts. We were watching it. I was like, and then all the Chinese got on board, and then everything else, and then it was a wrap from there. So when we were reading it and it was easy, that was it. But like really, it was like right around the election, and then then everything started getting fucked up. Nah, I said I'm out and I'm done. And I'm glad. And I made that last one, and I took a loss, and I should have made money, and that would have been a fucking killer gold that was one of my first trades at the beginning of the year, I think it was beginning of the year. But that one, after it just got too wild, I just say, hey man, I'm happy for y'all. I have gold, physical gold. That's it. I'm not fucking gambling on the price of gold when gold is gambling on the price of the world right now. Like, I'm good, bro. Gold still, so I'm going to just hold my gold and we'll see what happens. And once I could figure it out, I'm down. Believe me, I'm looking and I'm paying attention. But if I don't understand this shit, bro, I'm not touching it, bro. So, yeah, other than that, we will see. You could gain a lot of market experience in a short amount of time, yeah. Or you think fucking the SPY moves 15% in 3 days. So it's a wild one, but these are moments. I mean, again, every time we keep looking at it, the history books keep matching up and telling us a lot. Oh, Paul Atkins sworn in. Is that why Bitcoin went up? Well, futures are up. If anything, the rest of the world is going to open up. They had a holiday. I think China currency wasn't too bad. And then, yeah, now it's earnings. There is no historical data. Well, for some of the moves, gold is at a 19.8. Oh, dude, I have one more thing to show you. Are you ready? I forgot. I need to tell you this because I tagged what's her name? The Twitter Chad Kelly, Twitter Chadette, and she said, "We live in a time to be alive." She said, "Wow, where the president calls the Fed a loser," right? And that was the drama today, right? So I'm just like a big fan of history, you guys. And do you know that this actually isn't that new? Would you believe it or not? So can I be an old man and share a story with you? No, you unlocked a story. You unlocked the history lesson. So I'll tell you the last part. I think it's a liberal professor, so we'll quote him. But other than that, the details are still very interesting. Are you ready for story time? Oh yeah, I got a good one for you. So here it is. I love this because this is an old article. I think it was written in 2020 or before that, so it's less politically biased. But guess what? History does repeat itself. Sometimes almost word for word. Consider President Lyndon Johnson. Like President Donald Trump, he put tremendous pressure on the Federal Reserve to keep interest rates low and juice the economy before voters went to the polls. Johnson and the Fed chair during his administration, William McChesney Martin Jr., couldn't have been more different. Johnson was a larger-than-life Texan, known for backslapping and arm-twisting to get his way. Martin was an intellectual, bespectacled banker. Initially, though, they got along. Martin sent a supportive letter to Johnson after JFK was shot and Johnson became president. Johnson called Martin to thank him, trying his best to be charming. Well, You just assume you're starting out with someone who doesn't know much about your shop, Johnson told Martin in a recording of their call, and then you start to tell me what I ought to know about it. The charm offensive. Johnson's charm offensive continued even after the Fed raised rates in 1964, just weeks after Johnson won the presidential election. In another phone call, Martin explained why the rate hike was necessary and reassured the president about the money supply. Johnson seemed satisfied. "That's wonderful, Bill," Johnson said. "I hope you'll watch that and do everything you can. I'd hate for this to turn the other way on us." But Johnson didn't want any more interest rate hikes. Sarah Blinder, a political science professor at George Washington University, said the president didn't want to own up to the cost of the Vietnam War and the war on poverty. Low interest rates kept the cost of government borrowing down. And again, through our history lessons, this quote lines up. The worst thing would be high rates, making plain to everyone the cost of what the government was doing, both domestically and abroad, Binder explained. But Martin was worried about the economy overheating and then crashing. He wanted to cool things down, slowing spending by raising rates again and making it harder for businesses and consumers to borrow money to spend. In 1965, Martin went public saying there was disquieting similarities between the economy in the 60s and the roaring 20s leading up to the Great Depression. Later that year, Martin, that's the Fed guy, cast the deciding vote in a Fed decision to raise interest rates again. Johnson was livid. That's the president. He wanted to fire Martin. That's the president. At one point, telling his Treasury Secretary, Henry Fowler, in another recorded phone call to find a replacement. So I'm going to stop you right fucking there. You know why? Because that's exactly what the fuck just happened. Stop acting brand new, everybody. I wasn't even alive, damn it. How do I know this? I wasn't even born. Fuck you, Bloomberg. All of you. You can't even hear this video, so I don't know who I'm yelling at, but still. Seriously. So, like, again, Fed chair, president, they kind of keep it cool. They're like, yeah, cool. I would hate if this turned bad. Then the Fed chair, like, kind of goes rogue, raises rates again. President gets pissed, right? And then starts talking about firing him. Then there's a recorded record talking to his treasury about finding a replacement. That is literally what just happened. Down to Scott Bessent and the Wall Street Journal and all of this, the same thing. Treasury and the replacement, and then they brought up Kevin Fowler and all these other people. It's the same thing. Literally, this is history. So you are not living through a time where again, we are in modern times. That's where you could argue, oh, we're much too sophisticated for that. But yeah, I mean, in a weird way, this happened more than, like, I don't know, half of the shit Joe Biden did was just random, but don't get me started. Here's the deal. Henry, you all got to think of where we could get a real articulate, able, tough guy that could take this Federal Reserve place, Johnson said. He said, get somebody articulate. We need a tough guy. A tough guy that could handle the Fed. This guy can't do it. He's too soft, too weak. Weak Fed chair for a weak institution. We need strong. But Johnson was told a Fed chair can't be fired just because he disagrees with the president. So instead, Johnson called Martin down to his Texas ranch. Johnson drove his Lincoln Continental convertible to the airport and gave Martin a lift to the ranch. But the charm offensive ended when they got there and Johnson let loose on Martin. The tongue lashing wasn't recorded, so Binder paraphrased, "My boys are dying in Vietnam and you won't print the money I need," said Johnson, supposedly. Gary Richardson, a professor at UC Irvine and a Fed historian, said the almost 6'4" Johnson even shoved the much shorter Martin up against the wall. This is still debated, but again, your liberal UC Irvine Fed historian is the guy who quotes this. Why is this be detailed? Because this is big. Just how you see people reacting now, this is a big deal. But like I'm telling you, this isn't new. It's not like this, like, again, I would argue they handled this better. Why did they react to this better in 1968 than fucking people today who know what happened in 1968? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the crazy part when you think about it. You know, but are you ready? Would you like my tinfoil? I could give you amazing tinfoil. I'm gonna just throw this out here. Are you ready? Are you ready? It's gonna blow your mind. What if I told you I know what's gonna happen next? What if I could tell you? I could give you a timeline. I don't have any. That's it. I didn't do anything special. But what if I told you? I could tell you what's gonna happen. You would believe me? Well, don't believe anybody who says that fucking dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? Jesus is coming back. Jesus is gonna crash the stock market. You know how many times they've told me this? Do you know how fucking well versed in the Bible I am? And they literally insist that the S&P in the Lord, yeah, you know what I'm saying? And they're like, nah, dog. I'm like, you damn. Nah. I'm only basing this off of Trump likes to just copy history, bro. Trump really just loved to do this shit. The next thing that's going to happen, and you're going to get a fat rally one day when there's going to be a headline that Jerome Powell is on his way to Mar-a-Lago. Yes. And he's going to try this because that's what I'm saying. How do you think people will react if Donald Trump invited Jerome Powell over? Come to Mar-a-Lago, let's talk. But I think he's going to try to make it good instead of pushing him against the wall. And y'all, I don't think not anybody in the news in 1960 were like, oh my God, Fed independence. Oh my God, the Fed. Oh my God, the president tweet. He pushed him in the wall. Physically assaulted him. The president and the Fed, there is debatably historical physical assaulting. And y'all want to freak out about a fucking tweet. And fucking destroy your own 401ks. All of our 401k. Everybody. Just because you're fucking... You piece of shit. Fuck's wrong with you, people? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? So, yeah. That's why, again, we've heard of the Mar-a-Lago Accord. But I wouldn't be surprised. I think if that might be a headline one day where Trump invites Powell. And then look at this, ready? Wall Street Journal coming out right now. Trump is laying the groundwork to blame Powell for any downturn. Well, good. I think he could. Why was I saying hard landing? You motherfuckers, you think I forgot? You don't just say hard landing. Oh, never mind. No. It's because what did you guys do to the economy in the last 4 years and lied about the fucking data? So, yeah. This is Unhinged Rants with Josh. Tune in every weekend, weeknight, for more. Brought to you by Stock Market Live. But, yeah. Kanye's new tweets. I followed up and I was like, damn, it's kind of deep, dude. Not like in like a philosophical way. Like it's sad, bro. I don't know, man. I saw that one, but yeah. My unhinged rants, they do make a lot of sense, but I mean, yeah. I feel bad because, like, I just hope you don't get, like, mad. Because, like, I'm not mad. I'm really not. I do think comedy is a good way to highlight it. But at the end of the day, in all seriousness, that is why you guys have to take care of yourself, dude. These people are fucking vipers. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. Like, all jokes aside, I'm not bothered. Because you can't be bothered and execute well. It's kind of what we were talking about with the trading, but make sure, and that's why I'm telling you, think for yourself though. Don't believe me. Don't believe any motherfucker saying this or that. But you gotta verify it and like go with what makes sense. But like think about it, bro. All this and people like literally, people are telling you to freak out before things even happen. Again, people are judging things very early. We talked about it today on stream. Just unfortunately, a lot of things aren't like inaccurate. They're just leaving out the other part of the story. People are bringing up tariffs. Yeah, are tariffs inflationary? Yeah, for the first part. But what about the other part? It's like those 0% interest loans where it's 0% and then it skyrockets to 20. But all in all, man, just be wise. Take care of yourself. And yeah, bro, it's kind of crazy. But I said that a lot today. I just said, like, you guys got to really think. I was telling you hard landing for a very long time. I don't care what the prices did. I said it's all fake. I've been saying it. Did I play along and make my money? I did. Did I miss out on my long term? I did not. We performed and we outperformed with 2024 as well. We underperformed, or I guess we outperformed the Dow, I think, in the other one. And we were just in line with the others. But the whole point was like, why did we got to be a part of it. We got to play, but that's exactly why I was telling all of you to not buy anything that's up. That's it. Because I said I still believed in a hard landing. Even when motherfuckers would ask me, people would ask me in a hella fucking, in a hella pompous way too. Y'all act like I didn't notice. The market would be hitting all-time highs, and they're like, hey, Josh, so do you think that we're still going to have a hard landing? And I would say yes. I would. I'd look you in the fucking eyes and tell you yes. You know why? Because it wasn't, you don't just get that idea for no reason. The yield curve, the money, all of it wasn't small shit that piled onto this idea. You had a banking fucking crisis, for crying out loud. And Jamie Dimon got the best deal of anybody in the world. So what do you mean? There were so many signs. Again, the data was just all of it. What do you mean? I saw the data and I saw you change it. You did too. You just accepted it if it was called a revision. Again, there was a friend of mine named Uncle. A very big line. This is where Uncle, it's on the track, bro. Are you ready? Uncle said a line that really highlighted this whole moment from then until now. Are you ready? This is Uncle Answer, circa 2023, I think, or 2022. The only way to get tricked off bullshit is to believe in it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you remember that? Yeah. That's it. That's all. I believe everything I'm saying. You don't believe what you're saying. I've taken all of my ideas and changed my life with it. You need to do the same. Otherwise, that's what I'm saying. That's honestly, it's a very good point. I'm glad you came in here with that bullshit. For real. See, I rejoice because there's knowledge in it. Because I don't speak nonsense. I don't like to. If I speak nonsense, it's because I'm speaking foolishly because I want to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Just like they said, oh, someone's selling, it's a lie. Right now, the positioning does not reflect the bearishness. That's what I'm saying. You're telling me I believe everything. I believe exactly what I'm saying, and I lived it. That's why I am outperforming. Make no mistake. You can't fake what the fuck I just did. And all of you got that, and I have thousands of people outperforming with me. You see what I'm saying? And I don't say that to flex. I say that so, like I'm telling you, if I was really caught in any bias of any of these, I would have underperformed like everyone else. And all these people bringing up all this stuff, it's a lie. Again, and people, I think they're talking more than they know, and I don't know a lot. I'm not, again, did I outperform? Yeah, I believe what I believe in, and what I believed in was diversification and play both ways in uncertainty, because this is a shit show, and I believed it for a very long time. I didn't need a Donald Trump or anybody to tell me. I saw it with the money supply. We all did. The real ones really all knew. They know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. The bond market, everything. I mean, again, and I think there's a lot of people that they don't understand it. And I don't think you believe it, because a lot of people are speaking bearish, but the positioning doesn't reflect. Again, they're saying, who's selling treasuries? Look at this chart. You had more global treasury dumping of the rest of the world in the beginning of the year. They dumped more treasuries during Biden. You know that. So literally when the data had more treasuries dumping during Biden, not one person brought up any idea. That's why I had to remind many of you that Japan is your largest debt holder, not China. You don't think that's weird? So yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Amen. I'm glad you brought that up. So again, go back to what I was saying though. The only way to get tricked off bullshit is to believe in it. We were talking this since 2022. So point is, I love it because you could bring up anything. You could say I'm caving to whatever. But why have I always been saying this? No, I'm being dead serious. Before Donald Trump got shot, I was even telling you I believed in a hard landing. After every sort of liquidity from 2022 till not, I've told you I believe in a hard landing. When the odds went to 5%, now they're at 60. I told you I believe. Why? You get what I'm saying? And that is the number one thing. I said this today. Don't get lost in your politics, because you should be asking yourself why that idea was so solid. So, and why I stuck to it. It was the same answer every time it was asked. So, it's not that. I'm just saying, like, I really think what happened with money, the dollar, the bonds, banks, we witnessed it, man. The data, shit was weird, bro. You saw things happen, then all of a sudden, it didn't happen. And then you don't remember, dude, 2022, 2023 was really weird. I'm telling you, all this weird shit we've experienced, I mean, I've taken it all in, and that's why. But again, I had this idea to the point where I'm telling you, this is why we didn't buy anything after that moment. If the stock was trading at a premium, I didn't touch it. Why? Because if there was a hard landing, I knew they could slash half of these values and nothing would even change. Because that's what happened in 2022. You literally watched 90% of the market dump and you were still near all-time highs. So that's why I said just only buy names that are down. Don't go for the crazy ones. And then again, we were able to get Meta and other things, but even then, wild moment. So we'll see. But other than that, I think there's only one way to end this. I'm excited though, because I don't think we know the answer yet. I don't think I know it either, you know. Don't let the hubris of correcting a dumb liberal. You see, I don't take too much pleasure in being correct or wrong. You know what I'm saying? We don't really know. But I have some good ideas, and I think we're going to find out as we move forward. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, this is what got me here, you know? Just imagine all the fucking videos, man, all the times you guys were here with me, man. You lived through these moments with me, and that's what I'm saying. I remember them. this is one of those moments to remember. And yeah, you know, we'll see where this leads us from here, bro. And I think that is going to be, we're either going to have history repeating or rhyming, or maybe once again we will be exposed to first time it's ever happened. Ah! So on that note, Chad, the only way to end this is with the song I was telling you about, Beast Mode by Uncle Answers.
I'm just tryna teach some, so let me teach. I'm just tryna eat some, so let me eat. I woke up in beast mode, they still asleep. Told them hit they free throws, they back on D. I can hold the L, bro, that's on me. Told them take the game slow, keep the peace. Looking at the table, my enemies don't know where I came from. I'm like E.T. Money ain't the motive, but it sure is motivating. You ain't a hoe with love complaining and celebrating. You sell a home, you know I'd love to have a conversation. We was buying cribs before you knew about inflation. You ain't gotta give me credit, boy, the banks give me a lot of that. I meant it when I said it, we gon' take it all and give it back. I learned a couple lessons, the wisdom that came from all the bad. I learned the repetitions, I put that shit on my dad. My money ain't getting lag, I wanted could get it now, but I cannot force the hand. I buy that shit when it's there, your homie just look around. We did it, I say a prayer, we bit that shit from the ground. In the foundation they saying, y'all ain't feel it though. Nah, but we ain't need them though. I ain't being cocky, I just won't look in the mirror, bro. Doing more than talking, boy, the empire empirical. Every time I sound a dotted, boy, it still feel like a miracle. I'm just trying to teach some, so let me speak. I'm just trying to eat some, so let me eat. I woke up in beast mode, they still asleep. Told them hit their free throws, and back on D. I can hold the L, bro, that's on me. Told them take the game slow, keep the peace. Looking at the table, my enemies don't know where I came from. I'm like E.T. running. Market's gonna crash, but I could kick another lesson. Till the curve uninverted and I don't talk recession. Till the dollar was stronger, then I ain't really stressing. But the fact it won't crash it until the Fed admitted 15 on 50, boy, the kid already seen this shit. Only way to get tricked off bullshit is to believe in it. 2022 like 92, you should go read this shit.
Run that back, please.
Might really make you think shit until the Fed admitted 15. I'm stronger than I ain't really stressing. But the fact it won't crash it until the Fed admitted stronger than I ain't really stressing. But the fact it won't crash it until the Fed admitted ain't really stressing. But the fact it won't crash it until the Fed admitted ain't really stressing. But the fact it won't crash it until the Fed admitted ain't really stressing. But the fact it won't crash it until the Fed admitted.
Literally, you're fucking where you're at right now. That's it. That's it. It has nothing to do with the economy. That's what I'm saying. You're asking me, this isn't a crazy idea, bro.
15 on 50, boy, the kid already seen this shit. Only way to get tricked off bullshit is to believe in it. 2022 like 92, you should go read this shit. Japan and how they move might really make you think they lead this shit. Inflation, hot money, boy, it sound like today. I'm not playing, it ain't funny, even the fix was raised race. Both the problem and solution started with a central bank. Call it what you want, but that one cost a decade.
Baseball still a stay. So it's different. But this is what's crazy. The dollar is not strong. That's the craziest part about this. The dollar was just fucking at all-time highs. Now it's not. Dog, it's very trippy. So yeah. No, I don't think it'll be a lost decade. I think you already burned a couple years. Maybe like a lost half a decade now. That's the good news. It's like, that's it. You might just be at the peak. We'll see. But that's too far in the future for now. Point is, diversify. That's the point. That song should make you want to diversify. It shouldn't do anything else except make you want to diversify. That's all. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like I said, you don't know. That's why. You're not going to miss out if you're diversified and let a confident motherfucker get ran over. That's fine with me. It's okay, you know, and I'm not going to feel bad. You know why? Because you didn't get on that plane. No, it's okay. So I'm not, that's all you, but diversify, baby. Amen? Amen. That's the message. Diversify, baby. So, Chad, I love you all. Have a wonderful evening. I'll see you bright and early in the morning. Go rest that head on the pillow. And just be blessed, bro, all right? Game time. Game time. Lock in. All right? That's it, bro. That's it. So, Chad, I love you all. Finger to the sky. get ready. Be prepared for everything, even disappointment. Don't forget. Don't let all this preparation. Nah, man. Anything could happen. That's it. They even shot at Trump, bro. That's all. Don't tell me. I told them, little bro, don't think you can't get touched. Don't think it. So anything, baby. Game time. So, Chad, I love you. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. And peace. Or not.